Happy Black Friday once again. I'm going to play my third grid of the day. This will be grid number 14, going back and playing the old ones. I've had in my two grids today, I messed up on the timed version. On the first one, I got a good rarity score, and then got under a minute for my uh timed round for the grid number 13, but then had a not as good of a rarity score. I think I used up too many good players, too many low rarity score players when I played the first time. So I don't know. I don't feel quite right about gaming it, being like, no, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna go with the first person that comes to mind, even though sometimes the first person that comes to my mind is a low rarity score guy, simply because I've either used them before or thought of them before as a guy I'm gonna play. So I'm just gonna start sharing. Hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving once again. Let's see. I guess we need to share the screen because that includes the clock. Yeah, there we are. We are sharing the clock, and I'm gonna just type 14 and start, and we'll be off. Let's see. This was my timed round before. So this is I did this one in under a minute. Um, and there we go. All right, so we got the Brewers. Got to be careful. It's Silver Slugger All Star, Silver Slugger then All Star. Okay. Richie Sexton. Randy Johnson. Let's see. Arthur Rhodes. Used him before. All right. Votto for All-Star. He does not work for Silver Slugger, by the way. Uh, Biggio. Jeremy Burnett's favorite player. Yount. Over here we can go Bagwell. And then let's see. Good Silver Slugger. Parker. Dave Parker. I was right at a minute. I was kind of racking. Joey Votto did not win a Silver Slugger. I didn't lose on that. I lost on Terry Pendleton winning a Silver Slugger, but Votto has never won a Silver Slugger and never will because he's probably retired. Pendleton has never won a Silver Slugger, and Chris Bryant has never won a Silver Slugger. They're the only MVPs who've never won a Silver Slugger. Um, and actually, there've only been 10. Weird how my brain went to the Reds version of Dave Parker before it went to Barry Larkin. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, Dave Parker won a Silver Slugger in 40, or excuse me, not 40, in 85, 1985. He was kind of a disappointment for the Reds for the most part, but that year he finished second in the MVP balloting to Willie McGee. I guess I could stop playing this. Second in the MVP balloting to Willie McGee. Led the league, I think, in home runs and RBI, if I'm not mistaken. Arthur Rhodes was maybe too good a pick there. Jeremy Burnett's at 0.8. I love Jeremy Burnett's. So I got to go with him. What's this thing on Biggio's hat? That's not part of their logo, right? Who knows? All right. So other than that, I went with pretty obvious people, other than Arthur Rhodes. I think I've got a decent one there though. Got a couple actually I just thought of. So in any event, let's see. I guess I can just go here and bring it up. Yeah. And play grid number 14 on incognito mode so we can hopefully go for a better score here. Um, let's see. I've used who are small stars I've used before? Bob Wickman. Um, was a good one for the 2000 season. Dave Nilsson in that 99 season was a teammate of Jeremy Burnett's, but on the Brewers and at the All-Star game. Fernando Vina has been an All-Star. Cirillo. I'll say Kevin Seitzer was an all-star with the Brewers once. Um, was Ricky Bones an all-star? He predates me by like a year. Like predates me following baseball by a year. I was alive, but not really watching, so I might be saying his name wrong. Don Money, I think, is a good early All-Star. I think Jim Slayton might be a good early All-Star. But here, let's try out Jose Hernandez. I want to see how he does. That's him. Point one. Yeah, he was an All-Star the year the Brewers hosted the All-Star game in 2002. He along with Richie Sexson. Brewers were not very good in 2002. They lost 106 games the year they hosted the All-Star game. Hernandez had a pretty good year. I actually wrote in my book a little bit, or I really mentioned it more as a footnote, but he had a over 400 batting average on balls in play that season, which led to him to having a decent year. He also almost set the all-time strikeout record. He actually sat out the last week of the season, which I thought was kind of a Bush League move, but he really didn't want that strikeout record, which is kind of silly when you think about like how many people have at the time it was Bobby Bonds' strikeout record. I think it was 189, I think. And since then, you know, probably a dozen different people have broken it 30 times. You're getting Adam Dunn breaking it like pretty much right away, not to mention guys like Mark Reynolds, Joey Gallo, and all those folks. So it was never going to be a long-term record, but he just never wanted it. Um, let's see. For Mariners and Brewers, Gorman Thomas were I think I've played Gorman Thomas though, and that's too popular. I mean, he was a great player for the Brewers, led the league in home runs a couple times. Ron Valone will work. Ron Valone has been weirdly high though, and actually he'll work for all three of these. But I think what I'm gonna play is Mr. Mark Newfield. That's a better score. I love that M. Just a basic M. I love it because it's what I grew up with for my first years following the Brewers. Just for a few years. It was only their logo on their cap for 3 years, 97 to 99. For the 3 years before that, it was an M and a B. It was basically this M with a B. It was the same like general like overall logo, but different hats. And then by 2000 is where you get the M with the barley leaf. Um, I saw this in the comments a while back, and I couldn't believe I hadn't thought of it. But Giovanni Gallardo was the 2010 Silver Slugger for the Brewers at pitcher. He had a couple self wins. He had a couple games where he threw a complete, or at least didn't give up any runs. I don't know if he ever had a complete game shutout and hit a home run, but he definitely like had some games where he got the win, went deep, didn't give up any runs, and hit a home run. Which is the ultimate flex. So I'm gonna select Giovanni Gallardo. He takes 0.5. Um, how do we feel? Mike Hampton will certainly work here. He'll also work here. Let's try Mike Hampton out here. Takes a full percent. Okay, well, I'm gonna throw Valone here. Goes 0.1. And I'm gonna go with former Brewer Dickie Thon for his 1983 season. Goes 0.6. All right. And then for Silver Slugger for the Reds, I am going to go with George Foster because I think he won a Silver Slugger in the 1981 season, right before going to the Mets and disappointing. So his best years were pre-Silver Slugger, but he did get Silver Slugger for the 81 season, which is a strike shortened year. Ooh, that actually was not that good. 8%. Okay. Was Parker better? I think Parker might have actually been better. Let's see here. So Reds All-Star. Trying to think of someone at least somewhat obscure. That's for both of these, really. What if Jim Wynn, if he was ever if he didn't get an All-Star because his batting averages weren't that high, but he's playing in the 60s at the Astrodome. No one's batting averages were particularly high. Or maybe how about Jose Cruz Sr. Takes 2%. And need a decently obscure Reds All-Star. And we've established Jeff Shaw has been my go-to for the Dodgers based on his work with the Reds, but I don't know if he ever appeared in the All-Star game with the Reds. I know Brett Boone did one year, and it was a surprise to me because I'd seen his batting average from the year prior. And also Boone will work here, so maybe that'll deflate these numbers a little bit. Takes point 0.1. So rarity score of 12. That was what right at a minute for the time version. So yeah, only 10 silver sluggers for the Reds. I think I pretty well optimized these two. I'm not saying I had the best, but probably close to it. Probably for the Brewers. Go with a pitcher silver slugger. Um, let's see here. Morgan Ensberg. I was right about Hampton. Glenn Davis. Oh, Jose Cruz would have worked there too. How about Cincinnati? So Larkin a whole bunch. Davey Concepcion. It's right about Foster, but that was not that good. Eric Davis. I don't think Eric Davis is going to be any better. Davey maybe. Jay Bruce with back to back. Castellanos. Felipe Lopez. Yeah. Felipe Lopez might have been the best pick there. That one surprises me. All right. Well, another fun game. Actually, I like to think I sort of put it all together there with a minute and a rarity score of 12. Those are both solid scores. Um, Kind of the happy medium between my previous two games today. So, I might call it there. I'm gonna check on the kiddo and see if he'll let me play some more. But I got some other things to do around the house. So, thanks so very much for joining me on your holiday weekend, and have a great rest of your weekend. Peace.